today I want to talk to you about an event that I got to go to and a speaker that I heard from, and I really got a ton of value from everything that he said, and I want to share that with all of you. This event that I went to was called the Forward event. It was put on by a loan officer in Las Vegas called Neil Dingra. Fantastic guy if you haven't followed him on Facebook. A lot of bigwigs showed up to this event, a lot of great speakers, and one of the biggest reasons that I go to these types of events is I'm trying to learn as much as I can to be better for myself, but also better so that I can pass this information along. I feel like that is so much of what I do. Like, I try to learn as much as I can so that I can share it with all of you guys, and so you can get it in this consolidated version here. I want to share with you the information that I learned from an individual named Cole Hatter. Cole Hatter is an entrepreneur. He owns his own business. He teaches other entrepreneurs how to be successful and what he calls truly living life and to be massively financially successful. So he dropped a lot of good just nuggets of information that one, resounded with me, and two, I think a lot of the stuff that I learned will be really helpful for you guys. So I wanted to share some of that with you here today. I honestly had never heard of him. Maybe you haven't or have heard of him. His message was really powerful. And I love it when people just go right out the gates and they just use, straight at you information, get straight to the point. And so that's kind of what I want to speak on today. One of the things that he talked about was borrowing money, which, we talk about that every day. I'm a mortgage lender. I'm literally try to sell debt to people every single day. He brought it up in a way that it was a different type of phrase that I hadn't heard before that really resonated with me, and it really made a lot of sense. If it makes you money, it costs you nothing. He said, once you figure that out, that's when you take the next step in life to become successful. So he talked about borrowing money. And I know as Americans, as people, as we've always been told that debt is bad, right? Debt is bad for you. It's not good. You need to get out of debt. You want to pay it off. You want to have money. Well, that's the opposite of what this guy preaches. He said something to me which was kind of interesting. If the debt makes you money, you want to get into as much of that debt as you possibly can. Right? Think about that for a minute. Think about the principle that's involved with there. So to me, automatically, I'm thinking real estate, right? Real estate and mortgages, because that's what I do. But if I borrow money to purchase a home, a rental property, and that rental property, so let's say my mortgage is $2,000 a month, but my rent that I'm charging is $3,000 a month, is that debt actually costing me anything? No, it's making me $1,000 every single month. So wouldn't I want to do that as much as I possibly can? Absolutely. The more you can do that, the more money you can make. You use debt as an ability to earn income. And here's something else interesting that he mentioned. And he was like, honestly, this is how the US government operates. If you don't believe me, check out this website right here. I'm going to put it up in the corner. usdebtclock.org, the debt clock in America. That is the exchange of money. The difference between money and currency. Our dollar is not backed by anything physical anymore, right? It's currency. And currency is designed to be exchanged, to go from one person to another, to buy a glass of whiskey, to buy a microphone, meant to be exchanged. And so he talks about how you can use this to your advantage if you understand how money truly works. If you know that it's meant to be exchanged, you can exchange that monthly debt for income. Right? It's such a simple thing, but we forget about it a lot. So this is the power of investing. This is the power of borrowing money when it's going to bring you money. If you're borrowing money to purchase a home and you're going to live in that home, is that a debt or an asset? Technically, that's a debt. It's not bringing you money. It's something you have to pay every single month. In return, you're getting shelter, you're getting a place for your family, but it's not making you money. Another example is buying an investment property, like I talked about before. If you're purchasing an investment property, then yeah, that is debt that you have every single month. But with the rental income offsetting that monthly payment, now it becomes income. See the difference there? So that's the difference between an asset and a liability. So he talked about creative ways to do this. You want to find ways to borrow money that's going to make you money. He called it cash producing assets. One of the most popular ones, and he said one of the things that he recommends is purchasing a multi-family home. So I know I've talked about this in the past, but if you're a first-time home buyer, if you don't own a home now, take a look at, duplexes, triplexes, a 4-unit property. Because if you don't have a ton of money for the down payment, maybe you have very little saved, you can purchase that as a primary home at a minimum down payment. You can even use an FHA loan at 3.5% to purchase a 4-unit property. You live in one of the units, you rent out the other 3. In most cases, the amount of money that you're going to be bringing in from those other 3 rental properties are going to offset your current mortgage payment. So you might be able to get to live there rent-free or possibly make money, depending on the final numbers. So these are the types of things he talks about. But again, a lot of people aren't willing to do something like that. You only look at how things are going and, you're supposed to go to school, get an education, go to college, get a job, buy a house. If you can start to think a little bit outside the box, you can realize that there is money everywhere and there's opportunity everywhere if you just know where to look and you know how to do it. So that's one of the purposes that I share these videos and I share my knowledge. Once I figured that out, the game changed for me. And so that's what I want to challenge all of you. Look for those little opportunities where maybe borrowing some money might be able to make you some money. And this could be anything. Think about Turo. Turo is a company that rents out cars. Let's say you buy a Tesla X. You've got a payment on it, but you're renting it out every single month. In many cases, you're going to make more money than it's costing you. So again, if it's debt that makes you money, wouldn't you want as much of that as you possibly could have? Absolutely. Just keep an open mind with these types of things. Again, I'd love to, hear what your suggestions are. If you think this is a good idea, maybe you think it's a bad idea. But again, I love to collaborate with people and kind of hear their thoughts on it. But to me, it was something that makes absolute sense. If you can borrow money that's going to make you money, wouldn't you want that as much as you possibly could? Money is being exchanged all day long. The US government does it all day long. They have more debt than they have assets. You can use that to your advantage and be smart about it. Borrow money to make you money. And that's how millionaires happen. Another little quote that he said was, you may have heard it's not what you know, it's who you know. It's what you know with who you know. Increase your network, invest in yourself, read books, look at things, whatever it is you're trying to do better in life. The knowledge is out there, the information is out there, and there's somebody that's already done it. So all you got to do is connect with that person, have them teach you how they did it, and then you do it. It's really that simple. So I hope this was valuable. Hopefully you can take some of this information that I shared with you today, put it into action. Because again, if we're just listening and not doing anything, these videos are pointless. But if you're taking a lot of this information and hopefully applying it to your life, that can absolutely change the game for you in the ways that I've learned this, that's changed the game for me. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day.